All right, y'all. Welcome back to 18 Outdoors. I've had several requests about pine thickets, how to hunt them, how I hunt them, or basically explain a good technique or strategy for them. And to me, listen, pines, especially in the South, and I know up north and places too, pines are a key, are very instrumental. Having a rough day. I've been turkey hunting today. I heard 3 gobblers. First time I've been is April 23rd, I think. The first time I've got to go, I went after work this morning. It got here about 9 o'clock. But anyway, I'm out doing some scouting now. I'm in this pine thicket. Pretty thick pine thicket. And if you notice, everybody walks through pine thickets, you're gonna find trees that ain't pines. So right here's a scrape. Pretty good little scrape that I found up on a logging road. So I want to kind of get the camera kind of set up and talk about pine thickets, strategies, you know, how much do I put into them, and the basics that I go about doing that. They're gonna pig or something on the other side of the hill. Anyway, let me get the camera ready and we'll talk about this pine thicket strategy. All right, y'all know here in Alabama, you know, I'm a public land hunter, okay? All of our management areas have got some kind of pine something. Some is better than others, you know. Our perfect pine situations to me is the ones that do like 40-acre blocks. They'll go in, so they'll let pines grow 10, 20 years. They go in, cut them, basically clear cut. Spray them, plant them back, you know. Then they might burn them every 3 years, you know. Amazing habitat. You know, I mean, if it wasn't for pines, you know, I don't know what kind of deer population that we'd have in Alabama, because there's just so much different types of browse and security cover, you know, bedding and travel corridor stuff that's associated with pines that deer just love using. So the biggest, so if you got like the areas we hunt up in the northern part of Alabama don't have huge actual pine plantation. It's going to be broke up. You're going to have varying ages of pines, from fresh clear cut to 3-year-old pines to 10, you know, maybe 15 years. So some of the other managed areas, they let some of the pines go bigger and then just let them go basically wild. They'll get big and then just we'll have beetle kill come into them, and then have tornadoes get them, or wind will get it, and then just make crazy, nasty, real good bedding habitat. So if you're hunting somewhere that's got huge pine plantations, you know, when they get so big, and if it's closed canopy, the undergrowth gets gone, you know, it's not that good habitat for deer. But if they're doing them cuts where they do preferred cut pines, where they cut strips through there, you know, open it up, you know, give the pines, you know, room to grow, to make, you know, telephone poles or whatever, pulpwood, whatever that they're cutting them for. They got strategies on how they thin them and stuff. You know, they don't let them just grow like a big old thicket. So that the stages and when you want to hunt these, you know, it varies. You know, I'm associating all the pine stuff that I'm hunting as some kind of security cover, bedding, you know, generally. I'm not really hunting them as just walking through the middle of a pine thicket, find somewhere to hunt them, because it's so hard. You know, you can't cut trails and stuff like that on our public land, so you can't really cut your way in. So I'm using the pines that I'm going to hunt as edges, or where I think they're coming out. You know, going to food sources. You know, when pines, the first say 5 years, maybe 5 to 7 years, there's going to be holes where the sun hits that creates, you know, honeysuckle patches, you know, browse patches. And the only way to find them, you know, you can do it with some of your map stuff, is they're gonna put boots on the ground and just take off. You know, find a big old pine thicket, and then just use some kind of Onyx Spartan Forge or something, and use tracks to go, you know, across it at angles, X's, you know, level changes. You know, if you've got levels, you know, terrain changes is gonna be key. You know, ditches, you know, old logging roads, you know, fire breaks, anything that's got some kind of edge. And there's going to be places in there that they miss something where there'll be, you know, a different type of tree or different type of habitat, you know, maybe some white oaks, you know. But But mainly the ones I look for is something that's gonna have something to do with bedding. You know, the first 5 to 7 years as a pine thicket to me is what I've used. I really love, you know, pine thicket points that have been, you know, have grown up some, and they burn them, and you got some of the beetle kill that comes in there and just creates a nasty mess. And I try to catch deer, you know, especially bucks, coming off them points or going to them points checking where does, because sometimes does will use them points where you got a lot of blowdowns and the sun comes up and hits them. They'll use them for bedding, and so it's just a strategy. So early season strategy with pines, you know, you got 2 ways of doing it. You can start driving around at night or right before dark, try to find, you know, roads that go around pine thickets or through pine thickets, and try to find where they're, you know, where they're coming out going toward. Because of early season, your bumper crops, mass crops, deer love that, so they're gonna migrate out of them pines to go to them mass crops. You know, might be going to soybeans or some kind of other food source that, you know, that on private land, but they're gonna come out of them, you know, where they've been eating browsing all summer. They're gonna start coming out of there and going to acorns and stuff. So to find them, you know, you got to cut roads, you know, cut fire breaks, you know, find what acorns is dropping, drive around right before dark or right after dark, try to find where deer's crossing that, you know, right before season or even during season. Try to find that if that's what type of strategy you want. So, but early season, bow season, you know, I love finding fire breaks that's got points with pines and got acorns, white oaks or red oaks on them edges. You just sneak around them edges and try to find busted acorns or find rubs, you know, early season scrapes, and then try to catch them coming out of them pines to that, because bucks love using that thick stuff as, you know, as cover and as bedding. You know, the hardest part is, you know, is catch them coming out of it, because generally I'm not going to go into the pines and go after them, you know, unless it's some kind of pine strip that's in between, you know, hardwoods or some kind of crops that I've found a trail that's hot, that ain't nobody been messing with. You know, they ain't had no pressure. I can come in there and get in there clean, you know, without blowing them out, you know. So, and then set up like that and hunt that for a time or two, you know. So, but the biggest thing I like is always them points, you know. But generally, most of my hunting setups, there'll be pines somewhere that I can see that deer or bucks are coming out of or going to. So it's just very key. It's just diversity, you know. That's what we're looking for. So, and this pine thicket here, it's kind of growed up. It's got mixture of like poplar trees that's come up. They just come up wild, and, you know, deer use this as bedding. And this right here is an old logging road. They're using this old logging road for travel and for marking their territory. I just showed you scrapes, so it's just stuff to look for. So you got to find where they at. That's the biggest thing. You just can't hunt all pine thickets. You're not created equal. You know, another thing with pine thickets is SMZs. You know, SMZs are, you know, just stream management zones that they've left strips of hardwoods, you know, in places close to creeks. So deer use them things to get across from pine thicket to pine thicket. So early season, you know, if their acorns are dropping in them, you can catch going there and get acorns. You know, late season, you know, the honeysuckle patches, because the acorns pretty much gone and they've already had enough pressure, the bucks and the deer will move into them real thick pines, you know, younger pines that's got a lot of undergrowth, you know, just nasty briar stuff that's hard to get into. It's real hard to bow hunt, because it's hard to get in them places, you know, far enough to get in there where they're at, because they've already had enough pressure, so they slip back there to get away from the pressure, and you just can't get in there without making a bunch of noise. So the best way to do that is try to find them L's of pines and cut over, you know, where you can get up to gun hunt. And that's, you know, like I like starting out on an upper L or one L where I can see another L with binoculars or whatever, or you can call L's corners and try to see if they're coming out while, you know, while you're hunting the gun. If you might have to make a move, or even if you're bow hunting them, you might have to make a move. But them strips, them edges, them pine edges, you know, by hardwoods, or the pine edges by a clear cut that's newer, or, you know, a different stage, is real key. And there's going to be some kind of logging road somewhere that you can find to use access, or to find that they're used for travel. So, you know, keep that in mind. So, you know, calling and that thick stuff is another thing. So you can use that because it's just they can't see as far, so you can kind of get yourself in cover and have a better chance, you know, at calling one in because it's a tighter quarters area. So you can try that. So but I love some kind of pines in my area. So just like this, it's a pine point, you know, it's coming off hardwoods, and it goes down to some thick, nasty hardwood drains. So, and these deer, like right now, they had burnt this part of this year, and sprouts already come up. So deer's coming out, you know, coming out of there going eating them sprouts. So perfect habitat. Again, pines are just key to a lot of our success in the South. And I know some of the northern places like Michigan and stuff, they got clear cut stuff where they're cutting some of them white pines and cool looking areas to hunt. So you know, I'd like to go do that sometime, just try that, because that's a neat looking area. But right now I'm walking around scouting, checking these pines out, see if I can find anything, trying to find a shed or something. Maybe hear a turkey gobble, because I'm going to try to turkey hunt a couple more times. But think about them pines, you know, it's just a little bit different type of hunting. You know, one of our managers there, actually two of them, the way they cut and swap it up, doing like 40-acre blocks and stuff, it's cool that you get to jump around different places, and you get to do a lot more scouting and try new areas, because it's always kind of changing. But it's always good food no matter what for the deer. It's almost, there's no way to do away with that food. You know, mass crop, if you got a mass crop failure, that pine thicket to them clear cuts, you know, early stages of the pines is perfect habitat, perfect browse. You know, they don't even have to come out of that. It's the hard part is finding them where they do come out to chase does, or getting where you can see them while they're moving looking for does, and that's the hardest part. So, but finding that, but always the sign is key. You know, you can't just go into any pine thicket. You got to find where they at somehow or another. Postseason right now is the best time to do it. They start turning green quick, but you can cut through them fast looking for scrapes, you know, rubs, old beds, you know, sheds, whatever. So do that right now and start making your plan, because crap, it's fixing to be dadgum season for long. You know, get ready for these shows again. You know, got the mobile hunter expos coming up. We've got 3 of them. Georgia, Dalton, Georgia, coming up June 28th, 29th, and 30th, I do believe. So we'll be there. We'll have a booth there. Y'all come check that out. There's going to be plenty of good hunters there, plenty of pine thicket hunters, I'm sure. So come and talk, hang out, try out all this new gear. And that's another thing, is pines are so hard to climb with a climber without making a bunch of daggum noise. Things are awful. And you can't climb them much, you'll kill them. So these light lock-ons and saddle stuff, you can use them sticks and you get up there quiet. So, and you know, and they move, you know, be able to move easy without making a bunch of noise. So that's a good thing to come to them shows and try that stuff out, because they're gonna have plenty of stuff to try out. So we'll see y'all there. We're gonna try to go to the Michigan one. It's gonna be in July. Then they're gonna have one in Pennsylvania in August. You know, we're not gonna make that. We're gonna do our best to get to that one in Michigan. It's gonna be, we're fixing to have another grandbaby right about that time too, so it's gonna be kind of iffy, but we're gonna try to. So anyway, y'all get ready to get one flat. You know, it's time. You know, turkey season fixing to be wrapping up here over the next couple of weeks, unless you're going up north. So, but again, pine thickets are great places. You know, I just love them. I love using the edges of them. You know, I don't hardly ever go into the middle of them hunting unless I know there's some kind of bunch of blowdowns or some kind of open habitat where the sun gets to, that I can get in there, and you know, I know does are using it and try to catch a buck. But that's pretty much it. I'll try to stay on the edges, you know, low and high. It just depends. Just depends on what I'm doing, what kind of sign we got. So right now up on this, the scrapes are up on the higher part, and that's, you know, kind of atypical for a hilly or, you know, mountainous type areas, hilly areas. So, but anyway, we're gonna see y'all at these shows. See y'all next video. I'm gonna come back trying to get me a turkey tomorrow. Rat's hanging out the house. You know, she didn't get to come out here with me today. She don't like getting up early right now unless she has to, and she gotta be after a big buck. So she ain't a big fan of turkey hunting. So anyway, we'll see y'all next video. Hey everybody, thank y'all for watching the videos. But again, we appreciate y'all's support. If you haven't liked, please like and subscribe. And don't care if you haven't got one of our books, check out Amazon and get a book. Also, we got a link on there where you can on our YouTube channel where you can go on. We got a little store set up, like if you're interested in any kind of merchandise, shirts and stuff, you can check that out. And we really appreciate anything like that. So again, we appreciate y'all's support. You know, keep watching. We're gonna keep trying to share the outdoors and how we do some things, and try to help everybody that we can enjoy the outdoors. And you know, we do this for just basically because of the environment and the community that's involved and built around hunting. So again, we appreciate y'all. Like, share, and we'll see y'all again. Bye.